Joe, I'm gonna fucking look it up the entire show here because my throat's all fucked up. So I'm gonna try to mute the coughs the best I can.
Yeah,
But it's all messed up, man. It's I got sick over the weekend. I'm pretty sure flu. I'm like a if I had to put a percentage on it, like 90% sure it was the flu.
gotcha.
Yeah. But the thing that sucks is because I had such a because my throat was fucking a little sore over the weekend, and since I have this fucking horrifying natural fucking consistent cough,
Right.
it just gave me fucking my throat's all scratched up.
Gotcha.
So, and normally like last time when I had a messed up fucking throat, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I used to sit here while podcasting with a thing of honey. And I'd just be fucking drinking honey pretty much to get that fucking coating in the inside of my throat.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But the honey's down in the kitchen like a normal human being, and I would, get my cough drops and shit, except for some fucked up reason, not sure how. Gotta be an act of God. I was podcasting a few weeks ago for JFW, and I turned and I got the new desk set up and stuff here in the house. You saw it.
Yeah. Looks great.
Oh, thank you. So the window's right here to my right.
Mm-hmm.
And I see fucking ants crawling on my fucking wall.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? I've never seen ants on the second level of my house. And I try to take pride in not really eating up here in my house. I'll drink stuff when I'm podcasting and stuff, but really eating, I think when we did the food ranking and shit, I made an exception. I ate upstairs for that, but usually I try to avoid eating upstairs. So I'm like, where the fuck are these ants coming from?
Of course.
And the perfect thing is I got this not a sponsor of the podcast, but it's called 7th Generation All-Purpose Cleaner. It's a 100% essential oil botanical fucking cleaner. So organic. It's natural.
Sure.
Natural shit.
Yeah.
Kills fucking ants.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Love it. So I'm fucking spraying the ant shit, but I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is attracting them in here. Fucking cough drops.
Oh, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, so I had to throw the cough drops away, and so here I am now. Scratchy throat, pissed off. So I think I want to get the pissed off shit out of the way.
All right.
I want to get the pissed off shit out of the way first.
Okay.
Before we do anything else, I want to do what we discussed. And it's weird because I never thought I would ever get to this point of actually doing it. But not gonna lie, I feel anxious about doing it. I feel bad about doing it, but at the same time I know there's gonna be a fucking huge weight lifted off my shoulders once I do.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you guys don't know, you're here on This Freakin Show. I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And we are the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. This Freakin Show is part of Freakin Studios. And as being part of Freakin Studios, it became kind of like an umbrella network for us, Just Freakin Wrestling, who I host over, I guess not another channel, but another podcast, Just Freakin Wrestling. And then a buddy of mine, Sarge, from the Gray Area. About a month ago.
Oh yeah, almost exactly.
Yeah.
As of the recording.
Yeah. So back in July, I don't remember the dates. I remember the date of the Gray Area, but I don't remember the date of ours. So whenever it was, I made a comment on our show, and I'm going to play it, and I want to do with this what I did over on JFW. And I want to give some context to you, Joe, to kind of understand some things, because I don't know how much of wrestling verbiage or lingo you know of. Do you know what a work is? When somebody says, this is a work, do you know what that is?
I only know you put like feud or something in the,
yeah.
In the text you sent me about it. But other than that, no, I have no idea.
So there's a thing called a work and a thing called a shoot.
All right.
When somebody does something as a shoot, it's real. It's actually real. So if somebody says something about you as a shoot, they mean it.
All right.
When somebody says something as a work, it's a character saying something to another person who knows that it's just it's a gimmick, it's a joke, it's storytelling, pretty much.
Gotcha.
So, and I'm going to be real about this. I know when we talk on this show, we do talk about like real stuff. Like we do get serious and we just talk about real life stuff here. But it's always travesty and Cartoon Joe.
Right.
And we always make jokes and poke fun at a lot of things here on our podcast, whether it be, people we know or things. My perfect example for me is CarterComics.com. I poke fun a lot at Doug.
Yeah.
A lot. Like to the point where I'm surprised that he still wants to sponsor us. But Doug knows who I am. People who listen to my podcast know who I am. They know the cadence of my voice. They know how I do things. And they know that when I say things, it's a joke. And it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
So for this, I don't want to be Travesty. I don't want to be Cartoon Joe. I want to be Travis and Joe. And I want to talk about This Freakin Show. And I don't want to talk about Sarge over on Doug Gray area. I want to talk about Alan.
Okay.
So this is, for those of you who are listening, this isn't fun, joking, made up bullshit. This is me being real. And
this is shooting.
This is shooting. This is shooting.
All right.
So over on JFW, I did a work podcast where there's another guy, Steve. Steve is a wonderful fucking dude. And he has a wrestling show as well. And I wanted to do something with him where we kind of feuded back and forth with each other, just poked fun at each other, attacked each other's shows and shit like that. Now, the way I did it, because this is like Succotash all over again. If you remember who that is.
I don't.
You don't remember Succotash? Remember season 1, some podcast found our podcast and critiqued it?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's petty. That's petty me. Travis in real life is a real petty person if he wants to be. Now, realistically, and I'm going to get into a different mindset of how I try to live my life recently, but there's a lot of shit I got to explain before we dive into what we're going to dive into. So, Joe, I apologize if this becomes boring to you, but
no worries.
Cool, because I have to explain all this shit to you in order for you to understand where I'm coming from, because there may be a certain point in all of this where you think I'm taking it too personal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so me and Steve had an agreement that we're just going to poke fun at each other's podcast. So I had a guy on my show talking about a work that happened at a wrestling show. And I brought him on my podcast and said, hey, no other show was willing to bring you on to tell your side of the story, not even your friend Steve. So Steve brought him onto the show, and he said stuff about, JFW and all this other stuff. So the way me and Steve do it, the way everyone should do it when you want to do something like that with a show, is you want to poke fun at it, but you want to find a way where it doesn't sound like your show is a piece of shit.
Right.
So when I sit there and I was like, listen, I encourage anyone to go listen to the Power Hour, because even though Steve's kind of boring to listen to, a little bit goofy and dorky in his videos with wearing his glasses inside, he knows his shit. I just don't understand why a middle-aged man needs to wear fucking glasses and a bow tie inside his own house as a relaxed kind of show, but hey, whatever. It's poking fun at each other. It's just, it's acknowledging the fact that it's a great fucking show.
Right.
without saying his show's a piece of shit. Because it's not. Honestly, Steve's Power Hour is fucking amazing, and it actually motivates me to be a better fucking podcast.
Right.
So that's what you would want to do if you wanted to work with somebody. But the biggest thing, in order for that to work, you kind of got to give them a heads up.
Right.
Give them a, hey, I'm going to say some shit about your podcast. Now, what I'm going to play for you from our show back in July was a little segment, and I talked to Joe about this beforehand. So to give you guys more behind the scenes, I told Joe before we recorded, hey, Alan is doing a segment about movies and stuff over on his podcast, so I'm going to poke fun at him, and I'm going to say that he's stealing my shit, just kind of like how he said I steal his shit. Joe said, all right, and then we did the show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play that for you here in a minute, but I want you guys to understand something about what is, you know what, no, fuck it. I'm going to explain how I live my life after we do this whole thing. Anyways, goddamn, I'm fucking going in too many different directions here. So after Steve did his show, about my show, I did a listen along kind of thing on JFW. I tried to play this off so petty that I turned his like 50-minute segment of me into 3 episodes of JFW. Like that's how petty I wanted to play it. So what I did is I held my phone next to the microphone. I played portions of his show, paused it, responded to it, and then returned. So I could sit there and I could answer and, what was it when you're, was it
Respond?
No, like rebuke or whatever the fuck is that word? Dispute? You're trying, like somebody said something, but you need to correct them.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the word is.
Yeah, it's like rebuke or whatever it is. Some word like that. I don't know. I'm not fucking educated. Joey is, okay? So I would play a little, then I respond. Play a little, respond, back and forth. And I did it for 3 fucking episodes. And I told Steve, I'm like, you're going to think I'm the most petty fucking person in the world, but keep in mind, I just did it for the fucking views and for the entertainment. And he understood, because that's what you do. You communicate with each other.
Right.
Now, let me play what I said, because I'm not going to one-side this whole fucking thing. That's what Alan did over on the gray area. Turned this into a whole weird one-sided fucking thing that should have been nothing. Like, right. Absolutely 100% fucking nothing. In fact, I listened to it when he did it back in July, and I didn't really care much about it, because like, oh, whatever, he just wants to say something stupid and be fucking funny, because that's what he does. He wants to tear down fucking people's shit, whatever, that's who he is, don't give a fuck. But then he brought it up to me at the beginning of this week. Hey, I said this about you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I fucking knew, but I thought he was talking about something, like he did it again or some shit. Oh, okay. Because I know in one of our recent episodes, I made fun of like him mimicking people with the same fucking voice. So I thought he was responding to that. I think I did that. I think that was on the live or some shit. I don't fucking know. I can't remember when we did it. I just remember I did it. Yeah. So after he brought it up again, I listened to it again. And for some reason, the second time around pissed me off. And then the third time around pissed me off more. And then when I sent it to you and talked to you, I got more pissed off about it. And then when I played it for the co-host of JFW and listened to their opinion on it, it just infuriated me. So, again, Joey, I apologize if I sound fucking over the edge. But I guess I'll respond. I'll answer that afterwards. Again, Joey, I'm really sorry. I sound like a piece of shit.
You're good.
No. Okay. So, this is the episode that fucking Alan responded to. And I want to read the show notes first to give everyone all the information. This week, Travesty accuses the gray area of stealing their idea, even though it's not their idea. And the guys also decide to challenge each other to a carbonated drink challenge, which is pretty gross. So, this is a segment that we said Alan stole our idea. Joey, make sure when you hear it, tell me you can hear it. I just want to make sure it goes through, okay?
Okay.
That dream.
Yeah, I hear it.
Devastating. You finally had time and your mic broke.
Yep, I think I actually said in the dream, I had time now. Oh. But here's my problem with the gray area. It's not a big problem. It shouldn't even be a problem. It's a pettiness problem, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe something I gotta get over. But, you know what the effing book club is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an idea. It's a concept that we're going to start eventually.
Yep.
Can we talk at the free time? Freakin Book Club. Book club that this podcast is releasing so we could enjoy a discussion of books between us and our viewers.
Yep.
The gray area, I believe, I don't remember what he called it, but I did listen to his recent episode last night, is doing something called like the Gray Area Movie Club, where you watch a movie. Now, I get it, it's different. But is it that different?
Right? No.
No.
I don't think so.
No. I think that if you're going to rob somebody of their ideas, you should, I don't know, maybe discuss it with them.
You think?
Yeah, right? You know, especially since the guy who came up with the idea is the pinnacle of Freakin Studios.
Right?
You know, I don't want to tell, Sarge to fall in line. Unintended. But what the fuck, man?
Some shit. That's some shit.
That is some shit. But hey, you know what? If you wanna tell people, hey, go watch, Edward Scissorhands, hey, feel free, I guess,
Yeah.
But come on now. You just say, hey, I like your idea for the book club. I think I'm gonna steal that, but make it about movies instead.
Yeah, just a heads up would be nice.
Right? Just an idea. Something. I think there was something he said that we stole from him, which I don't think is at all possible.
Yeah, I don't listen to his show at all, so I couldn't steal anything from him. I don't even think we're friends on Facebook anymore.
Well, that's because when you guys sit in the chair, you lean, opposite ways.
That's true.
That is true. Joe, we're going to do something stupid on the... Okay. Every time, and I'm biased, every time I listen to it, I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with what I did.
No, I don't.
I started the entire thing off with, here's my problem with the gray area, and I know it's petty. I know it's my problem that I gotta work out. I also ended it with, hey, if you want to tell people to watch movies, go for it. But everything in between there made no fucking sense to where it could remotely be fucking real.
Right.
First off, there is a difference between books and movies. One's a book, one's a movie.
Right. An obvious difference.
Yeah. And secondly, none of this is my original creation. I didn't create a fucking book club. I didn't sit here and discover the concept of reading books together.
Right.
But I said it in the podcast because it's funny.
Right. Well, like you can watch a movie in a week and talk about it, but like for book clubs, you read a chapter at a time. That's how book clubs work. Or you have an agreed upon number of chapters you're supposed to read, but you don't read the whole book and then talk about it. Typically, you talk about it as you go along because you're exploring how the themes develop and the different characters and ideas and stuff.
Yep.
It's a long form deal. It's not like a movie where you kind of shotgun it in 72 to 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we're going to talk more about it. Because I said I'm going to play Alan's response to this, and I'm going to play a little, turn it off, and respond. So, and just to give you kind of some clarity on this shit, that was about 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Right.
So just under 2 minutes of us talking about that thing. So
yeah.
I want everyone to, because that's also important to me. Because me and Joe really don't spend a whole lot of time on topics on this show unless it's like a planned out topic. For example, what we're fucking doing right now.
Right.
Other than that, it's just whatever's on top of my fucking head, whatever we can do to fill time to entertain our listeners, we'll just talk about it. And you know what? I just needed an extra 2 minutes to make that show an fucking 30 fucking minutes long. This show was honestly, this show was 33 fucking minutes, I think.
Nice.
It was a short show. It was a very short show. So I was like, fuck it, I need to fill some time. Fuck, give me a fucking hour, 45 seconds to talk about something. And we'll just fucking do it. Okay, so this was Alan's response on the gray area. And there's something, fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I said. I'm just going to pause it and respond back because it's so fucking dumb. You ready, Joe?
Yep.
AREA DAGRAY 15 and you. Yes, you get 15% off. Hello, my delinquent army. How are you? I'd like to welcome you to the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing.
Who says that, Joe?
That's us. You say that.
Yeah, that's right. I say that. Cool. Just want to keep it right. I just want people to know that that's how it begins. And I was fine with that. I didn't give a shit that he robbed me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to talk about our show, that's a great way to introduce it.
100%. Yeah. I'm also okay with it because we hardly use it.
Right.
But at this point, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, he just fucking used, my fucking, opening tagline, whatever. I guess when I say hi, I guess this fucking matches up because I too want to sound like a stupid idiot. Okay.
Now allow me to get something off of my chest. You know how I'm part of Freaknet Studios, and Freaknet Studios is doing their own thing over there with Just Freakin Wrestling and This Freakin Show. Trip.
So he instantly separates himself from a network that we're supposed to be working together on.
Right.
That confused me.
Yeah, they're over there. I'm over here, even though I'm part of them.
Yeah. Because it's not like Freaknet Studios as a whole is doing their own thing all the time.
Right.
I constantly get a hold of him to fucking figure out if he wants to do some shit. We just don't have schedules that fucking sync up.
Right.
You and I do.
Also ideas about hamburgers, but I
Yeah.
should probably be being serious instead of making jokes.
Oh no, keep the jokes. I mean, fucking, I need the jokes here. The jokes are gonna level me out in my fucking anger. Yeah, buy the right fucking burger. But yeah, no. So it's just like he instantly separates us. Like this entire fucking thing is we are all Freakin Studios, but we're not.
Right.
It's almost like I don't want to use the word segregation because that's the wrong word to fucking use. Separate. We're separate but together. Yeah. It's stupid. Like you want to sit there and say, oh, we're all Freakin Studios, but we're not together. It's like motherfucker. Like me and Cartoon Joe do a lot of shit together because me and Cartoon Joe fucking do a podcast together. Just like I do a podcast with other people. I don't do a podcast with fucking Alan. That's why me and Alan don't do shit. It's fucking
right.
So that's how it starts out.
Well, that and yeah. Just when we do Freaknet Studio stuff, it's not like he's not invited.
Yeah, and see that's another thing too. Like if he was referring to like the cemetery vlog thing, that's a This Freakin Show thing that gets released on the Freaknet Studios YouTube page.
Right.
I told the motherfucker, hey, if you want to do videos and upload it on Freaknet Studios, that's what it's there for.
Yeah,
nothing.
Do it.
Fucking nothing. So that's on him. The cemetery thing's not. It gets released under Freaknet Studios, but that's because This Freakin Show is under the Freaknet Studios.
Right.
But the cemetery thing is a This Freaky Show thing that's part of This Freakin Show that's part of Freaknet Studios. So if that's what he's referring to, on him.
And we've never told anybody they can't come with us if they ask.
True. Just
no one's asked. Yeah. Or very few people have asked, I should say.
Yeah. All right.
Do you know how I'm part of Freaknet Studios? And Freaknet Studios is doing their own thing over there with Just Freakin Wrestling and This Freakin Show. Travis did his show on This Freakin Show. Go check it out. It's a good show. If it gets done, it's a good show. If they put out weekly episodes, it's a good show. But he likes to, we're going to record everything within a 3-hour time frame in one day, and we're just going to release it over the next 3 weeks.
How many times have we recorded 3 hours worth of podcasting and released it over the course of 3 weeks? Like, honestly.
I basically have no memory from week to week, but I'm pretty sure never. The most that I can recall ever getting out of a single recording is 2 episodes.
Yeah. There was a time when I did an interview with Briggs on Keto. It was a 4-hour interview that was planned to be released with an hour a fucking week.
Gotcha.
There were times where we would do lives and we would release, we would do like 2 hours worth of lives, like fuck it, we'll just split it. And it's not because we're trying to get more shows out of it, it's because no one wants to listen to 2 straight hours of fucking podcasting.
Right.
It's easier to split the shows up.
Not this style of podcasting.
No. If this was like something like a historical, we're talking about shit, documentary style, whatever the fuck you want to refer to it as, makes more sense.
Yeah.
But when it's just us bantering and bullshitting, I mean, shit, fucking sometimes when we talk for an hour, 15, hour 20, it's so fucking long. Like in my head, I'm like, I would love to fucking split that down, but I was like, I would rather release an hour and 20-minute long fucking episode, and just put it out there and just say fuck it, instead of 2 40-minute ones. It's just that way. It's just all there, and you can start listening to it at one point and finish it up at a later date and everything. But there's never a point where I say, I mean, there was, and I'll admit this. There was a moment where I told you, hey, let's record this week, we'll release next week. So we always say a week ahead.
Right.
We started doing that. And he says it here, and I'm going to play this part and then I'm going to respond to it, but there's a reason it was okay for us to do shit like that.
It's a good show. But he likes to, we're going to record everything within a 3-hour time frame in one day, and we're just going to release it over the next 3 weeks, which doesn't pay any parameters to what's going on in today's world now. So you're listening.
Okay. When have we ever said on This Freakin Show that we are a current event-based podcast?
Oh, never.
Yeah, because we talk about events, but we talk about events that are
when there's something important that happens, when somebody dies. I think like when Chadwick Boseman, it's been I think a year since his passing. Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about it this week.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it up because I'm thinking about it because it happened this week. Yeah. But that's the only reason I'm bringing it. It's not like I'm not bringing it up because I planned to bring it up because I wanted to recognize that. I saw someone talking about it, so I'm thinking about it. So now I'm talking about it. Exactly.
It's not like I'm sitting here telling you about, my weekend of, 4th of July weekend and what I did and shit. And that's the thing too. It's like, what is he referencing that we're talking about old shit? Because the only thing I could think of is our road trip, doing the cemetery vlogs that we released a couple weeks ago that happened maybe a month ago that had nothing to do current event wise either.
Right. I mean, like we could talk about like Mikhail Gorbachev died.
Yeah.
That's the thing we could talk about. And then if we released it, instead of releasing it this week, as we're planning to do, if we released it like 2 or 3 weeks from now, that might be irrelevant. But like, we're not a Mikhail Gorbachev podcast.
No,
we're not even a Cold War podcast. Like,
if we talk about anything current event related, it's usually released within the next 4 days.
Right.
Sometimes we record these things so late that I just gotta get to bed, so I'm not gonna edit it that night. I may be able to edit the next day and get it released the following morning.
Right.
But usually when we talk about something that is current event related, it comes out. Perfect example, like when we do the Oscars.
Right.
The Oscars happen on Sunday. We'll do our show on Monday and it'll be released on Tuesday. It's how everything fucking works out for us, but I've never once said like, oh, this is the podcast where we're going to talk about current events. I may have said that on the very first episode, but that was the very first fucking episode, which was 7 fucking years ago.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, there's no point doing a current event fucking podcast. There's already enough current event fucking podcasts who are talking about everything in the fucking world. And to be honest with you, everything in the fucking world sucks.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to get home from work, fucking, settle down and dive into a conversation about the Russian-Ukraine war, what's going on between China and Taiwan, the fucking, Trump, Mar-a-Lago, whatever the fuck it is, thing, the seizure. Like, I don't care. I don't want to talk about that shit. That shit's happening.
Right.
Whatever. But I don't want to.
And I'm also, I'm personally not satisfied with just, I don't think it's fun, and I don't want to make time for sitting down and recording like a 10, 15-minute podcast just to have something that covered today's events out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a news guy.
Yeah.
It's not a thing I do.
Yeah. Yeah. There's enough people out there covering daily fucking news, like, I don't know, the daily fucking news.
Right.
Like realistically, if we are to change anything about our podcast, it's we need to talk definitely more about movies and music and comics and shit, because that was the whole idea of the show.
Right. That's the niche
everything.
we're supposed to be in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly believe, side note, I think we should do that. But anyway,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
But it's like, there was never once in my life where I said, you know what, I'm going to create a podcast that talks about everything that happens today. Because I hear enough about it. I see enough about it. I don't want to come talk about it. Because you can go listen to Joe Rogan, you go listen to Crowder, you go listen to Alan. That's all fucking Alan does.
Yeah, you can go to the Daily Zeitgeist, you can go to some more news, you can go to, I don't know, Worst Year Ever, although they haven't updated in a while.
Go sit in front of CNN or NBC or Fox, whatever the fuck you want to.
Scroll through Facebook. Get your opinions from your friends and family.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's enough fucking platforms out there that gives you daily fucking content that I didn't want to do a podcast about it. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't call it This Freakin Show. Like, because this is just a show about whatever the fuck we wanted to talk about.
Right.
So, okay.
Our time frame in one day, and we're just going to release it over the next 3 weeks, which doesn't pay any parameters to what's going on in today's world now. So you're listening to stuff that they were talking about 3 weeks ago. Sometime.
Never. Not true. Not true whatsoever. No.
But, the show's good, right? Freaknet Studios.
How insincere did that sound?
Yes. Yes. And I wanted you to stop it so I could be like, not true.
Yeah. It's literally like it's like he literally just sat here and said, well, that girl's cute, but she has half a leg, no arms. I think she's growing a beard. She's missing some teeth, has an eye patch. I'm not sure what she's doing with her hair. I think it's half shaved or fallen out. And possibly has a penis. But hey, she's cute.
Right.
So you can't sit there and say oh, it's a good show. They don't talk about current events. They talk, they record,
right.
3 hours, a month
It's
ago.
not a show that I really want to listen to because I like mainlining my news from the Daily Wire, but
yeah.
But yeah, go check it out. It's fine, I guess, if you like that kind of thing.
I will give credit to where credit's due with Alan. If you ever have the urge to listen to 3 different conservative podcasts at once, go listen to his. Because he'll just listen to a bunch of fucking podcasts and just take all of their topics and talk about it. That's all he fucking does. He listens to podcasts all fucking day, jots down some notes and shit, because I have listened to similar podcasts that he's listened to, and he has said shit verbatim. Is that how you say it?
Wow.
Verbatim?
Yeah, verbatim.
That they have said. So, yeah. We don't do that. I don't go listen to another podcast and then copy that over here. Because I don't need to. But that's what Alan does.
Yeah.
What's going on in today's world now. So you're listening to stuff that they were talking about 3 weeks ago. Sometimes. But, the show...
Also, I'm not quite sure why this keeps going back and I'm playing forward, but I'm kind of glad it does.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that, but hey, bravo.
Yeah.
That was good, right? Freaknet Studios is the foundation of our 3 podcasts, but let's be honest, delinquents. we all know the gray area is like amazing, right? Because I started in 2018.
Again, very insincere. Passive aggressive. Is that the proper word for it?
Yeah, that's a good word for it. I like that. I also, like, I know where he's going because I've listened to this clip, but like, I don't get the point of saying Freaknet Studios is the basis. First of all, the basis of Freaknet Studios is the basis of Freaknet Studios. I don't understand that. Second of all, like, so this is another place where he's separating himself from us, right? So I think what he's trying to say is This Freakin Show is the basis of Freaknet Studios because it was the first show on the network. Mm-hmm. And he brought me on, but then instead of saying like, and I'm really happy to be part of it, you know, I don't know if we've added to his success at all. Probably not, honestly. I think we have different audiences for the most part. Yeah. But you know, if the idea is like, I don't know where he's going, but where he goes is not where I expected. If you're trying to be nice to people, if you're trying to be like, oh, it's a great show, it's sort of a backhanded like, it's a great show, but let's be honest, I'm better than them.
Yeah, yeah. There is one thing that we did, that Freaknet Studios did for him. And I'm going to explain that when we get to the sponsorship thing. But no, you're right. He said there's like, oh, Freaknet Studios is the foundation of all three of us. But I'm better. That's the theme of what he's saying.
Yeah.
In his mind, in the message that we had before, it was like, yeah, it was just friendly banter, just some bullshit between friends, blah, blah. And he says that shit in here. No, I'm sorry. But if you're part of a network and you say that network isn't as good as you're better than the network.
Right.
Why the fuck are you with the network?
Right. So, yeah, if you're better than the network, then like, yeah, exactly. Why are you part of the network? Like, what do you mean you're better than the network? You are in the network. Like,
mm-hmm. So this was one of my favorite parts here. This part right here.
3 podcasts, but you know, I mean, let's be honest, delinquents. I mean, we all know the gray area is like amazing, right? Because I started in 2018. They started years before me. I'm at 207 episodes. They're at 260. By the end of next year, I'll be all caught up, and they'll have 2 years on me.
So, for his statement to be true, right there, we'd have to stop podcasting right now for a year.
Right.
So in his mind, by next year, he is going to catch up to us. How?
I don't know. Maybe we're going to take another 6-month hiatus.
There was and just to look up, because I was kind of curious about it. Like, how many months did we miss? Like, total.
Yeah.
So I did look. I put together notes here. So This Freakin Show has been on for 356 weeks. Okay.
Wow.
We have done 263 weeks out of 356. So we're just about, I want to say it's like 97. We missed 97 weeks.
Dang.
I think if that math is right. I didn't do the math. I just did how many weeks we were on and how many shows we actually released. Gotcha. So it's like 97 weeks. So we just, we missed over a year. Technically, we almost missed almost 2 years.
Gotcha.
Total. In 7 years, we totally missed 97 fucking weeks.
Right.
JFW has been on for 272 weeks. We've done 158 episodes, so we did 158 episodes in 272 weeks. So there were about
120, somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, 114.
Yeah,
the math right. Yeah, so we missed weeks. Now here's the thing, and a huge chunk of that was in 2018, and that was my call for both shows. I took a break from both shows for the better part of like 3 or 4 months.
Right.
Because I had shit in my life I had to deal with that. Right. I just wasn't willing to really want to do the show anymore. Like I was done. I don't want to say depressed. I don't want to say, anything. What's the phrase that people use? Anyways, I don't want to say that I was in some kind of depressive state where like I just wanted to end it all, because that wasn't the case. I was just burnt out. I was just done.
Oh, like suicidal or whatever.
Yeah, but unalive myself. That's what the term people.
Oh yeah, that's what the kids say these days. Yeah,
that's what they say, so you don't fucking throw up an uproar on social media. So
yeah,
I was never at that point in my life, so I don't want anyone to think. And if my grandma's listening to this, I don't want to think like I knew it. No, it's never the case. I was just burnt out. I was doing JFW, I was doing This Freakin Show, but I was also still working, and we were doing other shit. Like I was just tired of it. And then I just broke up with my girlfriend. I'm like, you know what? There's just too much shit going on right now. I just have to take a fucking break. So we took a fucking break. I came back. You weren't ready to come back. You had shit going on in your life, and I accepted that. And I told you whenever you're ready, you could come back. Colin, same way. He came back for a little bit, left. You came back, and we kind of kept the show rolling. I think I did the show by myself from like November to like March-ish. And I think you came back in like April. But even then, like I didn't do it consistently. I think I did like every other week or something like that. Because the thing is, not a current event podcast. Doesn't have to happen every fucking week.
Right.
Still get downloads. Now, would our viewership be different if we were consistent every single week from the beginning?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Here's the thing. You have a wife, Joe.
Yeah.
You have fucking priorities that you need to take care of that I have said from the very beginning. This is not the priority. This does not come first before work, before your wife, before your house, before your family, before nothing. Now, I'm sorry, and that's another thing too. We don't cheap out on our fucking podcast. Like we don't, like Alan over there. He wants to brag about his fucking podcast. He's very close to being every single fucking week, because I looked at his too, and he's not exactly weekly since the beginning either, but whatever.
Right.
Very close, though. And I'll give him credit for that. He's only missed, like, maybe a couple months. So very close. So congrats to him. But the thing is, when you don't love your family as much as other people do, and you don't give a shit about your job like other people do, you can find time to do podcasts that, you feel the need to, have this fucking, like, I know he has this weird fucking complex where he needs to have some kind of superiority over fucking people. He needs to be like on a fucking soapbox above the fucking world and have people all gaze up at him. That's his fucking mind. Like this dude I know wants to be like the next fucking Rush Limbaugh, whatever his fucking name is, Joe Rogan. He wants to be that fucking guy. And that's cool. If I could be the next Joe fucking Rogan, I'd take it too. He just doesn't do it the right fucking way.
Yeah. Well, and he may be successful at it. That's, and that's fine. I wish him the best on that front, I guess. But that's the other thing that I'm listening to is, we haven't even talked about yet. His measure for success in this moment is not the number of downloads per episode or, the number of consistent listeners he has or anything like that. It's how many episodes he's put out, which is such a strange measure of success. Like, I'm 32 years old. I poop every day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a couple times a day.
Right.
Does that make my poops more special than somebody else's, or is it a consistency and, smell and shape sort of discussion? I'm just, not to talk about poop, but I just,
dude, we're already talking about poop.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of,
But no, you're absolutely right. But that's the thing too, and that's what blows my mind about fucking Alan. It's like he'll say, doesn't matter, random fucking, this dude, he does lives more times than not. Cool. But a majority of his shows, there'll be a point where he says like, I got 3,000 followers on Podbean, and I'm cranking, my downloads are so high on Spotify, and they're ridiculous on Podbean and iTunes and shit like that. And hey, that's cool. I mean, the whole reason people do podcasts, I guess, is for views and everything. The whole reason we started this podcast is so we had something to do together.
Right.
And views and shit.
It's a way to stay in touch.
Yeah. And I would love for this to grow. And I know that's what we're working towards. I know we're doing pretty good at it. I watched the fucking stats and everything on Podbean. And I know the numbers are slowly growing. They're not fucking Joe Rogan numbers. I don't think they'll ever be fucking Joe Rogan numbers. If they are, fucking A. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, this is not going to be my number one priority in my life. And I'm a single guy, and I can say that because I have a job that pays my fucking bills. I would love for this to pay my fucking bills, but we're not there yet. And here's the thing. You're what, Joe, 32?
Yeah.
I'm 33? Still
Yeah.
time. There's still enough.
Sure.
There's still enough time to grow this into fucking something. It doesn't have to be my fucking life.
Yeah.
You know? So, we don't fucking release a show every single fucking week, so be it. But the thing is, when the show is released, you could probably almost guarantee that it has been recorded within the last 4 days.
Right.
So, okay. So here.
Started years before me. I'm at, 207 episodes. They're at 260. By the end of next year, I'll be all caught up and they'll have 2 years on me. I mean, sometimes the student becomes the teacher. You know?
I don't understand that. What the fuck is he talking about? Like what students and teachers? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, if he wanted to be more accurate, he should have been like, well, it looks like some students do better in class than others. That would have been a much better fucking analogy than student teacher. I didn't educate him on fucking anything. I mean, I showed him how to hook up a microphone once because he was too stupid to do that. But other than that, I mean, it's like, what is he gonna teach me? How to sit there and go on my podcast and say, like, I don't judge anyone based on color, sexual preference, gender. It's like, if you have to say that, you have a problem. Because that should just be common fucking knowledge. But then no. You want to sit there and fucking question people's transgender fucking choices, and they're going into fucking sports and everything, and you want to make a mockery of that. Is that not gender?
Right?
Sexual preferences? I mean, come on now. It's like, it's fucking hypocritical.
Yeah.
That's what I'm using for. Yeah. Perfect example. There was a moment, and I want you to be completely honest with me, Joe. Did you want Alan in this to begin with?
You know what? I will be completely honest with you.
I do, yes.
When we first met at the Hooters.
Yes.
And talked about things and stuff, I was excited to have Alan be a part of it. I enjoyed his enthusiasm. I thought he had some good ideas.
Yes.
And I was interested.
Yep.
Yeah. To answer your question specifically, my enthusiasm did wane quickly.
DJ didn't care much for Alan, and that came around the time he belittled the Preload Freaks podcast before it even got off the fucking ground.
Yeah.
When he went onto his podcast and said, these girls have a sponsor and they haven't even got their tits wet in fucking podcasting.
Yeah.
He instantly buried a project that Freaknet Studios was building. Instantly fucking buried it.
Yeah.
Instantly. He literally fucked that show. And then when I tried to get it going, all of a sudden he's like, I'm just going to co-host it with fucking Low. And then he did one episode, and that was shit too, because he just turned it into the fucking gray area.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm not fucking promoting 2 fucking gray area shows. Why do I need the same fucking show again? Put Low on your show, and then have your fucking show.
Yeah.
But no, he fucked that show. He literally buried that again, I don't know if you know wrestling terms. Burying means destroying something. You talk so much shit about it that no one cares anymore, and people think that it's garbage. That's what burying means. So when I say bury, he literally buried Pretty Little Freaks before it even got off the ground. And Pretty Little Freaks, that's going to be something we're going to talk about too when we get to this point about like stealing shit. Because he literally stole the name Pretty Little Freaks from Pretty Little Liars off of fucking ABC Family.
Right, yeah, obviously. I thought that was the reference, frankly.
Yeah. The moment I heard it, I was like, and I told the girls, you guys can decide what you want to call it. And they said, I'm like, is that really what you want to go with? And they're like, yeah, Alan thought of it. Makes sense. Is that what you want to go with? Yeah. Fine. Whatever. I hated the fucking name from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I was giving them the opportunity to build the fucking podcast. And it will happen again in spite of him. I will do it just to fucking prove him wrong that show will fucking work.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Next year, I'll be all caught up and they'll have 2 years on me. I mean, sometimes the student becomes the teacher. You know what I mean? And that's how it feels like. Because he's jumping on my balls, ladies and gentlemen. He's jumping on my balls because he's like, you know what? I had this movie that...
There's the voice.
Yeah.
The
Also, correct.
fucking,
Yeah, we're jumping on your balls, man.
Yeah. He used the same fucking voice to mock everybody.
Yeah.
Unoriginal. At least I change my voice up once in a while.
Right?
I know I don't sound like that.
We were going to do a book club or a book that we were going to read, and then Sarge comes out with his Sweet and Salty about a movie of the week.
I have no idea what Sweet and Salty is.
Is that the name of the movie of the week thing that he does?
I have no fucking clue. I thought he does his Ebony and Ivory episodes with his friend Cares None Be Dope podcast, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Cares None Be Dope, I think is the name of the podcast. It's also his sponsor of his show. So I just thought Sweet and Salty was like just somebody he fucking started like just doing shows with and shit. I think it is. So maybe they're doing a fucking movie review together. I don't fucking know. I just know the movie says Sweet and Salty. I'm like, is he still talking about balls? I really didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, movies aren't books, smart guy.
I knew that.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, I think everyone knew that. I think that's pretty basic.
And by the way, the last time they did a book club. They did the Phantom Toll Booth. It took
still a great book.
Yeah, really good.
Still fucking holds up.
A year. It took him a year.
Joe, you said it. That when you do a book club, you do it by chapter.
Right.
If you were to read an entire fucking book and then discuss it, you're literally doing a book podcast.
Right.
The whole reason we did it by chapter is because it was a segment of a season.
Right. People are supposed to read along and chime in on social media.
So he has no idea what a fucking book club is then. Because probably in his mind, it's like, oh, they read the entire fucking book and then they meet every night on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So he has no idea what a fucking book club is. So now we're there.
That's what it sounds like.
To go over the book, okay? So sorry.
And also, it didn't take us a year. I think it took us like 9 months. So
yeah.
I just want to be honest here.
If I do things a little bit better,
couldn't he have just said different?
Could have, but it reveals his thinking, which we've already pointed out.
Yeah.
Wing it up. It's not your idea. You have book club, okay, you dork. And I have the movie thing sometimes, We'll see.
The movie thing sometimes.
Right.
Perfect.
Sometimes.
How that turns out. I don't know.
You dork.
It's all love, though. It's all love. We're just poking fun at each other. He's like, he accused us once of stealing one of his ideas.
How does this sound like poking fun? Mine sounded like poking fun.
Yeah. This sounds like a guy who had his feelings hurt and doesn't know how to play nice with people.
This is the type of person who thinks he's better than us, so he has to one up what we do.
Right.
So in his mind, it's like, oh, I'm just going to do what they did, but I'm going to make it fucking more. And he did. Because like I said, our thing was like, what, about 1:40? We're just about 2.5 minutes of this. So, and it's not done yet.
Which is fine, because I don't cry about it on the airwaves.
What's he doing right now?
He's not crying about it, certainly.
Yeah.
I don't go on my TikToks, or I don't go on my, talk to my delinquents and say, you stole my idea. Remember when I used delinquents,
Okay, so here's the funny thing, John. You don't know this. But he literally just said he doesn't go on his TikToks and podcasts and whine. Correct? You heard this?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
He did it in a suspiciously whiny voice, too.
Yeah. So this was July 27th. He released a show 2 days ago, spent 20 minutes whining about the job that just fucking fired him. Not only that, he went on his TikTok and badmouthed the job that fucking fired him. So this guy a month ago, who mocked me for whining about something on my social media. First off, I didn't whine about him stealing anything on fucking TikTok. I don't really talk that much on TikTok. I just kind of post videos just because it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm cute.
Yeah.
But he literally just did the exact thing he said I was doing on his show 2 days ago. But he spent 20 minutes talking about how shitty his fucking job is that he got fired from. But it wasn't his fault. It never is.
No, nothing's ever his fault.
No. So, fun fact for that, Joe. Fun fact of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go on my TikToks, or I don't go on my, talk to my delinquents and say, you stole my idea. Remember when I used delinquents, the old delinquents know. The new delinquents, maybe not so much. But I used to do this today in history thing. Today in history, and I'd go through all the facts of prominent things that happened in that day in history. And then this freaking show, Joe and Travis did This Week in History.
No, we didn't. We did What Freaking Happened.
Right.
Dick.
Oh, what a coincidence. What a coincidence. It's hilarious.
Didn't we own up to it? Didn't we joke about that?
We did, 100%, yeah. We joked with him on the show about it.
Right.
And this is the part that amuses me. This moment right here.
Oh yeah, this happened on the 19th, but they'll post the freaking show on like the 25th, and you're just like, I wish I knew that the day of. Well, that's why you got me, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want something quality, tell your squad to follow my pod. Freaks. By the way.
So here's the thing. He made a joke about us talking about something on the 19th, but we didn't post a show till like the 22nd, whatever.
Right.
How many days are in between 19 and 22nd?
3.
Does that fall within a week?
But yeah, and also I think he said 25th, but 6 days is also a week. Is also less than a week.
So the amazing thing about this why this is one of my favorite parts as well is because let's say he did Today in History, and he talked about August 31st. No, that's a lie. Because let's say he recorded on August 31st, so he's going to talk about September 1st because that's when he's going to record the show. So Today in History, September 1st. Well, what the fuck happens if I don't listen to his show till September 5th?
Right.
Then I don't know. And here's another thing. We talked about what happened this week in history. If we ever, and I'm going to tell all you listeners out there right now, if at one moment, me or Joe gave you a history fact, and you were like, oh, man, I wish I knew about that, open a fucking history book.
Well, also, now you know about it, first of all. We just told you. Second of all, if you're disappointed because you didn't find out on the day, that's fine. I guess that's the thing you can be disappointed about. I think that's weird to be upset by enough to talk about or think about. Because clearly he's been thinking about this. Clearly this is a thing that he's like, no, it has to be on the day of. But you make a good point. It's not like he re-uploads a new version of
it's not an everyday
that
thing.
Episode every day.
Yeah,
until a new episode comes out.
He's not posting daily on his Facebook about, today in history. No, he literally says today in history on a weekly fucking podcast.
Right. Also, I think, didn't he say he goes through all the things that happened that day? I think we picked one each per week.
We picked one thing. We did one thing each.
Yeah, that we thought was kind of interesting or relevant or whatever.
Different fucking days. Different. So we gave everybody 2 different events that happened that week. He gave a plethora on one fucking day. And he said it. That's what makes him the quality podcast.
Right.
I wish I knew that the day of. Well, that's why you got me, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want something quality, tell your squad to follow my pod.
So him calling himself a quality podcast makes us not a high quality. Him. No quality whatsoever. Garbage.
Yeah.
We're shit. We're shit because we didn't give anybody the fucking highlights of history the day of our recording.
Right. Well, the day of the release of the recording.
Yeah.
Which just
fuck us.
Weird.
Fuck us for not saying like,
guess.
Joe, we're gonna record on August 29th. So make sure you do your current event on fucking August 30th. So when I release it tomorrow, everyone's gonna hear that podcast, but it's going to be removed the 31st because that fucking current event means shit now. It means shit. Because there's no quality in learning about a different day on the day you listen to a podcast.
Right. Weird.
You know, freaks, by the way, another idea that I gave him. You're welcome, Travesty, from This Freakin Show. He was doing he does a wrestling podcast. He's like, I don't know what to call it. I was like, just Freakin Wrestling. I said that. That was my idea. I said, just call it Just Freakin Wrestling. You have This Freakin Show. Just say it's Just Freakin Wrestling. And guess what the podcast is called, ladies and gentlemen? It's called Just Freakin Wrestling.
Who cares?
Yeah,
What a fucking breakthrough. What a fucking breakthrough in name.
Yeah.
That's a brag. That's a fucking brag for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally said, and I remember it was me, DJ, and fucking Alan were on a call because Alan was supposed to be on the show. So here's the thing. It's not that he's saying like, oh, I named Travisty's wrestling podcast. No, he named a podcast he was supposed to be on and he never did. But I literally just said like, well, we're talking about wrestling and I don't want to use the word freak in it, but I want to keep the word freaking in it. So, and we're just going to be talking about freaking wrestling. I literally said, we're just going to be talking about freaking wrestling. So he says,
right.
I just call it Just Freakin Wrestling. Here's the thing. Here's a huge spoiler for the delinquents out there in the fucking world. I gave him the idea for the gray area.
No kidding.
That was my idea. Because he was sitting there talking about my podcast. And he was talking about doing a podcast of his own. He just didn't know how to fucking do it. And I'm like, whatever you do, make sure you do a podcast that doesn't fucking sway one way or another. You want to find that fucking gray area. Call it the gray area. Because it's not everything's black and white in this world. You have a fucking gray area right there. I remember we're sitting at Intertech when we had this fun conversation. No, it's a lie. I remember where we're sitting. I don't know. I know we talked about it because I told him that.
Yeah.
And I know I told him that because he's not doing what the podcast was supposed to be.
I was saying it's really weird that he calls himself the gray area, but then only talks about right wing shit.
Yeah, that's what blew my fucking mind because I remember having the conversation, telling him like, you want to find that middle ground because you want to have a big fucking audience. He has a big fucking audience. He has a big Republican fucking base. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I know there's some fucking like, liberals or Democrats, whatever, who will listen to a show to, dispute him or argue with him, whatever it is. That's awesome. Find that path.
Why? He's not big enough to worry about. Anyway.
Yeah. But the thing is,
sorry.
No, you're fine. I know I gave him the idea for that fucking podcast. He'll never admit it.
Yeah.
He'll deny it till the end of the fucking day. But I didn't give him the DA part because he wanted the gray area because of the Bears and everything.
Sure.
And here's something that's fucking amazing. Because he's talking about, stealing shit. Okay? Do you know he's not the only the gray area podcast?
I did know that. Because I've gone to try to find his podcast before and not being able to find it.
Yeah. Do you know when the first The Gray Area podcast started?
I don't.
January of 2011.
Wow.
So, he created a podcast, and all he did was change "duh" and use a different spelling of gray. So he uses D-A instead of T-H-E. He uses G-R-A-Y instead of G-R-E-Y. And then boom, he has his own natural fucking given fucking podcast, The Gray Area. But it's completely different the fact that we changed his daily idea to a weekly thing.
Right.
That's not the same at all. Because when I created This Freakin Show, you know what the first thing I fucking did? I Googled This Freakin Show. You can still Google This Freakin Show today. And we are the only thing that pops up. The only thing that comes close to it is like This Freakin Song or something like that.
Right.
That I think came out like maybe a few years ago. So we were before that. Nice. You search Just Freakin Wrestling. We're the only thing that pops up. Because when I come up with an idea for a show, I Google it to make sure nothing's, already existed.
Right.
He did the same thing, like, oh, it exists. I'm just going to use DA, because da Bears. So fun fact, Joe, the gray area, my idea. And I didn't have to fucking play off of something he had of gray hair and scared or some goofy shit.
Right.
Came out of the top of my fucking head. You want to know why? Because I'm a creative fucking genius. And I do things better. Like weekly history.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Just say it's Just Freakin Wrestling. And guess what the podcast is called, ladies and gentlemen? It's called Just Freakin Wrestling. You're welcome for that little scrumptious material that I gave you, too. I mean, you know, that's just,
yes,
how
the
I do it.
material.
I'm a team player.
He's a team player as he belittles everything we fucking do. Correction.
And separates himself from the team.
He hasn't said anything negative about you. It's been directed at me. It's been directed at me. So he's such a team player. He talks about the low quality of the content that I release through 2 different podcasts.
I like to help out. So if you are under the assumption that I stole your idea from your book week, you dork, and I did a movie of the week.
This is him trying to be funny as if this wasn't a fucking big deal.
Yeah. Dude,
using the word dork was just his way of being like, oh, you know, I'm just messing around.
Right, yeah. It doesn't, I definitely didn't get my feelings hurt by your joke about that.
Yeah.
And you think that's the same thing. Then I apologize.
I don't
But
accept
that's how
it.
Freaknet Studios work.
It's not a serious
they
apology.
do their thing, I do my thing. I'm like my separate entity. But I still correlate with, like, Freaknet Studios, okay? So if you go to Freaknet Studios...
That's another thing that he's wrong about, because he doesn't correlate with anything we fucking do.
Yeah. I mean, not really.
He doesn't involve us in shit. He doesn't get involved in things. But he just, again, separated. We do our thing, he does theirs. It's not like he's saying this freaking show does their thing and the gray area does theirs. He keeps saying Freaknet Studio does their thing, the gray area does theirs.
Right.
.com, you will see that the gray area is part of that. Don't pay any attention to the fact that, you know, you got the Freaknet Studios tree, and then you got my tree. And my tree is sexier and more robust than the Freaknet tree, which is cool. I mean, I just water my plants more. You know what I mean? I just take care of my tree. I take care of my delinquent army. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You're welcome.
Did he just say that his show was a chode?
Yeah. 100%.
Nice.
Yeah. Freaknet Studios is a tree. The gray area is a thicker, more robust tree because he waters it more.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that means he just releases more episodes?
I think so. I think that's what he's saying.
Because if I remember correctly, Freaknet Studios doesn't have episodes. This Freakin Show and Just Freakin Wrestling.
And now, the other thing is, does he mean if you go to the freaknetstudios.com website?
Yeah.
And there's a separate tree.
Apparently there's a separate tree. I
don't know what that means, but
I created the website, and I know there's no fucking trees on it, and I know there's no separate Doug Gray Area fucking fucking page on there. But whatever it is, it's more robust. He waters it more.
There's 3 links that all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
They take up the same amount of space on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any trees. I don't
do you see how they're ordered too?
I do.
Do you know why it's ordered that way?
No.
Because This Freakin Show started in 2015. JFW started in 2017. The Gray Area started in 2018. So it wasn't a pecking order thing. I did it by year it started.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
Than the Freaknet tree, which is cool. I mean, I just water my plants more. You know what I mean? I just take care of my tree. I take care of my delinquent army. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You're welcome. Because I love you, and you love me, right? What's a little banter amongst friends? Am I right? So go check out.
This isn't banter whatsoever. I don't think he understands what we banter.
Right.
I think you need more than one person to fucking banter.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Banter means 2 people or more talking.
You want to know how I knew that?
Did you look it up?
No.
Oh.
Because you and I talk so much, you're starting to rub off on me.
Oh, that's nice.
And not in a weird fucking help me stepbrother way.
Yeah.
See, I can make jokes when I'm pissed.
Gross.
Gross.
It's very funny, but also
Go ahead, what's up?
Nothing. I was done.
Oh, okay.
And you love me, right? What's a little banter amongst friends? Am I right? So go check out Just Freakin Wrestling. It's spelled Just Freakin, Freakin Wrestling. And this
Wrestling also doesn't have a G in it too, so that would probably be nice to specify that as well.
Freakin Show.
Right.
It's spelled exactly how I just spelled freaking the last time. Freakin. You're welcome. I mean, if you don't pay attention to wrestling, then obviously don't go to Just Freakin Wrestling. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? That's if they put out an episode. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't.
That's
I mean,
so if he had stopped just like 20 seconds earlier, if he had just been like, so go check out these shows. They're great shows. Done. Out of the segment. Move on. Would have been fine.
Which fun fact, JFW released 3 episodes this week alone.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Wait, but it's only been 1 week.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't wait 2 more weeks to release the last one?
No. I will be honest though, Joe, and I feel like I need to be honest here. This is a confessional for me.
Yeah.
I released the show on Monday. I fucking recorded it on Friday.
Oh no.
And then I recorded a show on Sunday. I didn't release it until Wednesday.
Oh my God. Scandals.
And then I recorded a show on Monday, and I also didn't release that until Wednesday. But not one of them.
Wow. Sounds like you haven't put out a show in a month.
I know. I'm such a dick.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, it's okay because we don't water our fucking tree though.
No.
Our tree's just older. You know, and fucking probably doesn't have like fucking, you know, shit burned in the side of it because we don't fucking belittle people who want to fucking harm us.
Right.
Then obviously don't go to Just Freakin Wrestling. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? That's if they put out an episode. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I mean, it's hit or miss. Maybe in a month they'll put out one. We'll see what happens.
Somebody call PETA
but This Freakin Show is pretty good.
Fucking horse.
So he'll end up listening to this, and he'll probably put a response video down in about, I don't know, 2.5 months.
He was really close. It took me a month, and I wasn't even going to do it until he fucking brought this show up. It's like he wanted me to fucking like acknowledge this.
Yeah.
I was literally fine just listening to it fucking 2-3 weeks ago and fucking moving on. Like, I don't give a shit. It's fucking Alan. He's just bitching to his fucking listeners about how much I fucking, you know, upsetted him about the shit I said about him. I don't care. But then when I started listening to him more and hearing this shit more and more, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's not that he's just pissed. He's literally burying my shit. So, yeah. Anyways.
Because that's how he releases episodes. I'm not going to bring up, you know, ballwash.com. You guys might have not known that, you know, I'm not talking about.
Keep in mind, he doesn't blame me for losing Ballwash, but just listen to what he says.
Ballwash anymore because they're no longer a sponsor. You know, you get a sponsor and you give it to Freaknet Studios as a whole for all of us to enjoy, and then it just falls off and disappears. I like to blame Ballwash for that. That is Ballwash's fault because they outsource their shit. And, you know, if you keep it internal, I was talking to the owner of Ballwash, and he was like, fucking love you. And I was like, fucking love you, man. And he's like, let's do something. I was like, let's do something. And I was like, okay, 3 podcasts. Boom, boom, boom. And he's like, accepted. And so they were a paid sponsor. And that was awesome. And now they're gone. Because I do that, you know. I brought it to Freaknet Studios. Now, Freaknet's got another paid sponsor, Carter Comics, whatever, something like that, right? And that's just This Freakin Show. It only pertains to them. That's a paid advertiser. He doesn't want to share that with me. So I'm gonna keep my own sponsors. He's gonna keep his own sponsors, and when, you know, we'll collab every now and then. But, I mean, let's not, you know, the biggest fish in the Freaknet Studios pond is me, and I am my own ocean at this point. I mean, let's just...
Well, yeah, because you're so full of salty tears.
He's the biggest fish in the pond, which makes him an ocean. A fucking ocean. I think there's a couple more seconds, and then I'm going to respond to the sponsor stuff.
Yeah.
A little healthy banter. I don't blame him for Ballwash at all. That's not his fault, but...
It sounds like
just poking the bear, man. Just poking the bear. So, moving forward, how's everybody fucking doing?
So here's the thing. Okay.
It's a weird thing to say. Just poking the bear, man. Just poking the bear. I'm just being totally sincere. I definitely mean it in my sarcastic voice. Sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. Joe, give me your final thoughts on this, and then I got a bunch I gotta fucking say.
Yeah. My final thoughts on the whole thing?
Overall, in general, yeah.
Gotcha. Look, things are fine, and they're all in good fun, and I honestly, I know this thing has bothered you. You've mentioned a couple of times throughout that you're pretty pissed about it or whatever. And I'm not trying to like make light of how you feel about it. For me, I could care less because frankly, I simply do not have enough respect for Alan to care what he thinks of me. I respect him as a human being. I think he has inherent worth and dignity as all people do. If he was hungry or thirsty or needed a place to stay, I'd probably find a way to help him out. But as far as like bad mouthing me on a podcast, dude, who cares? Not who cares like, oh, we just spent an hour talking about it, but like, why do you care so much about what we said for 1 minute and 40 seconds that you spent 8 minutes talking about it to like be so insincere and to be so like, I don't know. It's so strange to me. And it's, if you're trying to model, if you're trying to be Steven Crowder or Joe Rogan or Ben Shapiro or whatever, congrats, man. You did it. You are just as substanceless, just as annoying, and just as boring and wrong as they are to me, personally. I don't care. I don't care about you. I don't care about your podcast. Go pound sand, man. That's how I feel about it.
Perfect. All right. So first things first, the sponsor thing. I'm going to be honest and lay everything on the table, Joe. So,
yeah.
Ball Wash didn't reach out to Alan in the beginning. Alan reached out to Ball Wash.
Right.
What we as Freaknet Studios brought to Alan was the ability to get paid for a sponsorship. Because in all reality, Alan was doing Ball Wash for free. Alan wasn't getting paid for fucking Ball Wash. What we did for Fire Pit Bar and Grill, that was Ball Wash for Alan.
Right.
He didn't start getting paid until he came to them and said, I could get you 3 podcasts that will promote you. And all I asked for is X amount of dollars a month. And they agreed to it. Because Alan was doing it for free for so fucking long. So it's not like he brought anything to us that he already had. Because of us, he had a bargaining chip to get paid.
Right.
Now, he wants to talk about fucking CarterComics.com and everything about being a sponsor of our show. Yeah. Not just This Freakin Show, but Just Freakin Wrestling as well. The only reason he sponsors our show is because of me. Because he knows me personally. Because we had a discussion with me about this. And then I called Joe. I called you. Not texting. I called you late at night telling you, listen, I got a guy who wants sponsors to give us this much money a fucking month. And I lied. I lied to fucking Alan, and I have no problem being honest with him by now. Because honestly, if Alan hasn't realized it by now, he's not part of Freaknet Studios anymore. Like he's out of it. Like
he's been gone for a long. He's never done anything with us.
Yeah. So
he bought one hamburger or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So he clearly is not part of Freaknet Studios anymore, and that's the petty side of me. But at the same time, he doesn't need us. We're a small pond compared to his fucking ocean. He's better quality, and we're garbage.
We'll be an ocean, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically I'm doing him a favor by kicking him out of Freaknet Studios because we're just holding him down like an old rusty fucking anchor. But the thing is, I'm not going to go up to fucking Doug and say, hey man, thank you for paying me this much money, but, how about, spending some money on some random dude you don't fucking know? Because here's the thing. If Doug listened to Alan's fucking podcast, he wouldn't fucking associate with that fucking podcast.
Right.
Because Doug's fucking fan base is all over the fucking place. When he sells comics, he sells to fucking everybody. So I don't think he'd want to associate himself with a podcast that sits there and just just extremist, right-wing, everything. And I know what people are thinking, like, oh, Travis, aren't you Republican? Yes, but not like fucking Alan. Definitely not like fucking Alan. His podcast is fucking, it's too fucking extreme. I listened to it out of respect for him because he was a friend. I really don't give two shits about him now. But I listen to his podcast because there are moments where it is funny when he gets fucking calls in and stuff like that. And there are times where he doesn't talk about politics, he just talks about normal shit that, working in the same industry we could kind of relate to and stuff. But realistically, I'm tired of hearing his fucking voice. I'm just done with him. Like, I am 100% fucking done with him. And this is why I'm petty about it. I don't care what people say about me. Like, I honestly really couldn't care less. Like, I don't. Me personally, as Travis or as Travesty, I really don't fucking care. I had a conversation with Michelle and Colin, and I don't know if you ever met them at Steam Hollow like a couple weeks ago. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but there was a scenario where they came out where they said to me like something about like just like walking away from people and not giving a shit anymore. And I told them flat out, like, listen, if you guys came up to me, if you text me saying, hey, I don't want to be your fucking friend anymore, whatever. My life will go on. Like, I don't live, for the want and need of other people. I used to a lot, and I don't anymore. It's just not worth it to me to be fucking miserable and upset when people fucking walk out of my life. Right. So I made the decision. If I have a friend who never wants to fucking talk to me again, if I fucking reach out to them and they never reach out back to me, and I don't ever hear from them again, it's like Michelle asked me, like, so if you text me and I never responded back to you, that's it? And I was like, yeah. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to chase a friend who doesn't want to, be friends with me. If Colin texts you up and said, hey, I know we've been friends for 20-something odd years, but, I got my new life now, I don't think we should hang out anymore. Fine. There's just no point in me dwindling on that shit anymore. It's just not fucking worth it. So attacking me as a person, I could really care less. But the thing is, I take a lot of pride out of what I do on both these shows. And I put a lot of work into it. And it is fucking work, I mean, it's fucking 10:30 at night right now on a Wednesday night. We've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. I gotta wake up to be at work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, it's my free time in my life to do something that, first off, to do what I wanted to from the very beginning, and that's spend time with other fucking people. Most of you know, Cartoon Joey, that's my fucking brother. Our parents got married, so this is my family. And even though he only lives like an hour away from me, rarely ever fucking see him. So this gives me an opportunity to spend time with my family. Whole reason we started doing the podcast to begin with. JFW, same thing. I love wrestling. I love talking about wrestling. I love being associated with wrestling. I love being able to get involved in the wrestling businesses around me. And the best way to do that is being part of a podcast. And I chose in my life to do these two shows, to commit to doing cemetery vlogs, to driving around Indiana for 2 days, shooting hours upon hours of footage, getting pissed off because I fucked up and had no fucking audio for these fucking things, but still willing to edit everything down, to do voiceovers so the content can be sent out. I put a lot of effort into this shit, not because I need to, but because I want to, because I take pride in what I do. And it's not fucking perfect. It's not high quality. There's no fucking studio. I'm sitting at a fucking, press board fucking desk in my fucking split level house in fucking Peatone. Like, I'm not in no fucking studio. There's no millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. There's not even thousands of dollars here. But I do the best I can with the shit I have. And when you sit there and you claim to be joking about how you belittle and badmouth the work that I put into this shit, telling me that, oh, he doesn't put out a show every single fucking week, so it's not really that fucking good, but still go listen to it because it's okay. No. I have other shit in my life that sometimes supersedes this, but doesn't mean that I'm not fucking podcasting until late tonight after I just got done working 9 hours at fucking work. It's like, and Joey, can I be honest with you?
Yeah, of course.
It bothers me a little that you're not bothered by it.
I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. As like, if he's talking to you, you don't give a shit because you have no like thought of him. And I'm trying to wrap my head around your thought about it. Like, if you cared what he thought, would what he said bothered you?
If I cared what he thought, it probably would have bothered me.
Like, if I badmouth like Geekcast Live, would that bother you?
Yeah, I think it would. I don't know that it would bother me this like as much as this, but yeah, it would bother me.
Gotcha. So it's just because
it's like you know, yeah. If what do I want to say? I get to badmouth it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
You know, and I care what you think about it. It actually, yeah, it would bother me because I do care what you think about it.
Gotcha.
But I really don't care. You know, obviously Alan listens to our show, but like he's not a listener whose opinion matters to me at all. Like I'm not going to change the way I do anything because of something Alan says.
Gotcha. So your thought on not caring isn't about what was said but it's more about who said it.
Yeah, 100%. It's about who said it.
Then I forgive you. That's fucking easy.
Yeah, I don't like what he said about us, but like if it was if Ryan had said that about us, if GCR had said that about us, I'd be like, hey, that's not fucking cool.
Oh geez, I thought Ryan did say that about us.
No. If he did though, I'd be like, hey, nah, cut it back. That's not all right.
And I appreciate that because it's like I hope you understand how much work I put into this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? We've had that conversation where I feel guilty asking you to do stuff, you know, because I feel like if I do, it's just going to overwhelm you and you're just going to quit. You know, nothing against you. I just don't want to do that.
No, I get that.
You know, but it's just like, I mean, I take a lot of pride in the shit I do in both shows, in the videos, the Freaknet Studios YouTube, all this stuff. The fact that even though he got ball washed, somehow I became responsible for fucking sending the invoices and collecting the fucking money.
Right.
It's like everything that happens falls on fucking Travis. And listen, I have no problem doing this shit.
Yeah, you're top pyramid.
I have no problem fucking doing it. But when you badmouth the fucking work I put into this stuff, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
I care more about what people say about the shit I do than what people say about me. Because what people say about me, I guess in reference to what you're saying about this whole situation, if they're saying negative shit about me, then their opinion doesn't really fucking matter to begin with because they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I am honest to God. I joke all the time about me being like a dick and a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually a pretty good fucking guy.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's by choice. Like, I could be cynical. I could be a piece of shit. I could be beyond fucking petty. Like me right now isn't the pettiest I could fucking be. I could be far fucking worse, but I'm not going to because there's not a necessity for it. But I am going to be how I am right now because I need to get my thoughts out on how much this fucking bothered me.
Yeah.
And I tell every listener out there, I know I've said it several times on this show. If you don't like the show, if you don't want to listen to the show, you don't have to listen to the show. If you don't like the show, you wouldn't be here right now. If you don't like the show, you won't be listening right now. But if you have a problem with the show, you could do two fucking things. And I've said them both before. You could decide not to listen anymore, or you can message us and give us a suggestion.
Yeah.
You could write to us and say, hey, can you do more of this or talk more about that? Or can you just respond back. Communication is very key in this fucking world, and I encourage our listeners to fucking do the same thing. But no one ever does. But yeah, we still keep getting downloads, even though we're a piece of shit fucking podcast who has no quality whatsoever, who lost fucking ball wash for the almighty czar fucking Alan.
Right.
But
we stole our name from somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
We stole it this day in history, even though we called it something different and had it be totally different in every way but one.
Yeah. And all this happened because I'm guessing that he does what he does half the time. He got fucking drunk, he got on the fucking live and just started spewing bullshit. Because I talked to dude when he's fucking drunk podcasting, and he's a stupid fucking... Do you know, did I ever tell you that there was a time where fucking, the moment we got ball washed, the moment we started Freaknet Studios, that there was another podcast that called into his live, and he offered them a slot in Freaknet Studios plus part of the sponsorship money?
Oh my God. I think I do remember that. I forgot about it.
A podcast that just started. He knew nothing about from fucking North Dakota. He's like, dude, come to the Freakin Night Studios. We have a sponsor. We're gonna make money. You know, it'll pay for your Podbean. And he's like, oh, seriously? I'm like, we'll talk about it. He's like, no, bro.
Right.
I was like, we'll talk. And we had a conversation like right after that. He was fucking drunk because he's an idiot and he wants to sit there and promise the fucking world to people. And he's not even coherent enough to do shit. And I flat out fucking told him, like, listen, man, when it comes down to it, it's a majority fucking vote in Freakin Night Studios. And this was him, you, me, and DJ. I was like, it's a majority vote and whatever gets decided in fucking Freakin Night Studios. And to be honest with you, I already talked to Joey and DJ, and they're always going to be on my side. So regardless of what you want to do, we're always going to do what's best for Freakin Night Studios. And that doesn't include giving sponsorship money away to a podcast that's 4 states away that we have no idea what their podcast is, what it's about, and what they talk about.
Right, we've never met them. We don't know them.
Yeah. This is before
we don't listen to their show.
This is before we got the first sponsor check from fucking Ball Wash. He's offering it out to other fucking people.
So weird.
Dumb. So, and that's why I got all butthurt when I fucking did Pretty Little Freaks. He's like, oh, well, you're spending money on this. I'm like, yeah, because this is a Freaknet creation. I don't know who the fuck those people were.
Right.
Well, because the fucking lush has to fucking get drunk before he could be entertaining on a fucking podcast. Like, no. No whatsoever. That guy definitely had fucking a couple drinks in him. Because that's how stupid he gets. That's the exact same attitude he had when he was at my fucking house, and that shitbag dog he brought here broke my fucking screen door, and when I told him he's paying for it, he told me he fucking wasn't. So I'm sorry, you brought the fucking dog broke my fucking screen, you're paying for the fucking thing. And that's another thing too. I don't care how he acted towards me, but the moment you damage property at my fucking house, yeah, I get pissed. DJ flat out told me. He literally saw me change from happy-go-lucky Travis to I'm going to murder this fucking guy. Because you're not going to destroy something at my house, blame a fucking dog, and act like nothing's going to happen.
Right.
It's ignorant, it's disrespectful, and it's exactly how he fucking is. And that's exactly how those first 8 minutes of that fucking podcast was. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's the last fucking episode I ever listened to from his live. What I listened to today with him bitching about his job, that's the last fucking podcast I'm going to listen to. Because I literally want nothing to do with this guy. Because that was fucking disrespectful. Again, he didn't say anything about me. He did nothing but badmouth the fucking shit that I work on, that I work really hard on, that I commit a lot of time to. I could be like fucking the gray area. Oh, I'll put out a 10-minute long fucking podcast. That's good enough.
Yeah.
20% of his fucking podcast are stopping by to say hi, where it's 15 to 10 minutes. Cool. We just recorded for an hour and a half. Does that mean I got 13 fucking episodes right now?
Right?
Joe?
Yeah. Well, if you split it up, if you split it up, you could.
Yeah.
So
Guess what?
funny.
Guess what? We're gonna reach.
Although you know what though, the thing is though, is that by the time you got all 13 out, it would be a couple of weeks from now.
That is true. I'll be bitching about this well into fucking Thanksgiving.
Right.
But we're not going to do any of our other segments today because this clearly took way longer than I expected.
Okay.
Because
I got a banger for next time then.
Oh, for bringing freaking back?
Yep.
Let me ask you a question. Is it electronic?
It is not. Okay,
awesome, because I have a really good one, too. I was like, I know eventually he's going to think of it, but I'm going to fucking use it before he does, so perfect.
Nice.
So, for those of you who did listen to this entire fucking thing, if you think I'm in the wrong, I strongly encourage you to comment or respond to me anywhere. Tell me I'm being a bitch. It's like, dude, you took that way too far. You were way out of line. You were a little bitch about it. Please do. Please please respond back to me and tell me I'm in the wrong. I encourage it. I encourage it 100%. And you know what? When we do a live next month, because we're going to do lives monthly, right? We agreed on that?
Yeah.
When we do a live, I will invite you onto our live, and we can have a talk about it.
Yeah, you can tell us why we're wrong. It's fine.
Yeah. And then I will love to hear your response, and then I would love to get a response back from you on why you think I was fucking out of line. But regardless, just a reminder that by the time this show is released, the gray area is going to be separated from all Freakin Studios. That includes Facebook, Instagram. That's going to be the website, all of it. He's still going to be on, YouTube, just because I'm not going to delete those videos, because those videos are still fun to do.
Yeah.
Even though he used the term, the moment I gave up on him being here is when he called it a basic bitch burger on the fucking video.
Yep.
The stupidest fucking thing. How the fuck do you sit there and say, okay, we're going to do a YouTube video, but we want to do a video where everyone can listen to it? Oh, we're going to do the basic bitch burgers. Well, the whole reason you're talking about basic bitch burgers is because you didn't buy the right fucking burger from Wendy's.
Right.
Couldn't even do that right. Saving money. Piece of shit. Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say every week you catch you here, but apparently we don't put a show out every week.
Yeah,
So,
yes, yeah. Every couple of months you can find me over here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, every season you can catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin Show. You know, this is probably, you know, maybe Christmas time. Somebody's going to fucking hear this.
Right.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Joe, you do more than just This Freakin Show. So why don't you tell our listeners where else they could go?
Yeah, if you want to find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast, you can do that over at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freakin Show. And, of course, you can catch our shows when they're released on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean, just by searching This Freakin Show. Like I said, if you want any comments or recommendations, or if you're a creator of any type that want to come on our podcast for an interview, please message us at This Freakin Show on Facebook or email us at thisfreakinshow@yahoo.com. We love meeting new people and doing interviews, and I think it'd be pretty cool to start doing that a little bit more than we have been. I apologize that Carter Comics wasn't sponsored on this show. There was a whole lot we had to talk about, but make sure you go to cartercomics.com. Use the discount code FreakNet to save 10% on your entire order. And also go to audibletrial.com/freaknet to get a 30-day free trial of Audible plus a credit to your first book purchase. Joe, that's all I got. As always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin Show. I'm out.